Today we're going to Istbern Farms, East Yorkshire, to meet James Rimmer. We're going to take a look at the CRXL625 that he's had. He's had it around about 2 years, and in particular we're going to focus on the CrossCutter discs. So it's been a pretty wet season this year. How have you got on?
So we'd had the very dry season last year,
Yeah.
and then a very wet season this year.
So it's been pretty, you've like been at both ends of the spectrum really with it.
Very much so, very much so, and it's worked really, really well. I mean, at the moment we're using it basically to try and dry some land out and to create a bit of loose for the drills to run.
So what do the CrossCutter discs do for you in these conditions?
Well, they move the entire surface rather than like a normal set of discs which move in sort of ridges, as it were. Because obviously when, as you know, it's wet, you need a bit more loose to go around the seed and to close the slot. So that's basically what we're trying to achieve here, just to create a bit of loose soil and dry some land out a little bit.
And what sort of depth are you going?
Anything from about 2 centimetres to about 4 normally. If for whatever reason we need to move more soil or incorporate more or whatever, we will go deeper, but as a normal rule of thumb, between 2 and 4.
And what kind of sort of output and speed do you go?
Well, if it's on one of the other tractors, not necessarily this old lady, you know, 18.5 kilometres an hour is not unusual. You know, you can really push on, as well. You can see with the amount of soil on the frame.
You can really crack on when you need to go.
Really, yeah,
That's
definitely.
awesome, yeah. And it moves everything.
Yes, everything. So as you can see here,
Yeah.
you know, we can scrap down,
Yeah.
and there's no ridges. It's all uniform.
Yeah.
Well, we had 70 mil of rain last week. Just look there, look.
Yeah.
70 mil of rain last week, and
Yeah.
this field, it hasn't really reacted well to it.
No.
But hopefully, days drying on it, we'll get it drilled tomorrow.
And this had potatoes in before?
2 years ago,
Right.
and it's the structure's just not quite where I'd like it to be.
Not quite right. So you've got this stubble. Have you used a straw harrow for this?
So the straw harrow at the moment isn't doing anything.
Okay.
But on the first pass, when we created the steel seed bed, it would have done quite a lot.
Right. Okay.
It would have been in.
So when you do use it, you can get a really good spread.
Really, really good spread.
And that works really good with those discs, right?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. And even though it's wet, it has completely moved everything.
Yeah. And we're down at 4 centimetres.
Okay. So you're going to let this dry a couple of hours, then you're going to drill it.
Hopefully tomorrow morning, more than likely.
That's your plan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's great. So just remember, this is year 2 for you. So you've seen it in. Last year was a lot drier, wasn't it?
Last year was horrendously dry, so it was like trying to work concrete. Now without this, I don't think we'd have achieved half of what we wanted to achieve. But no, this worked fantastically well, and surprisingly, the discs have actually lasted really well as well.
That's awesome.
Considering how hard and dry it was.
Absolutely.
So these discs now have got about 1,200 hectares on them, and I think we've lost 5 mil.
So how does this work in, this machine, particularly with a CrossCutter disc, how does it work in your system? Are you doing anything else with it?
So our basic system is as little as possible and as much as necessary.
Right. Cool.
So we do have a low disturbance loosener.
Right.
We've obviously got the 2 direct drills. We have this. We do have some other bits of cultivation equipment as well. You know, if we have to break out a power harrow, we will do. But you know, if we can avoid it, it's the last resort.
Yeah. And how do you use it? Do you use it for to get a chit? Or is it just to loosen?
We use it for everything. So
for everything.
We use it to get a chit. We'll use it to create a seed bed. We'll use it. We'll establish cover crops with it, or such as this. Just try and dry some land out.
This is really key to your system to make everything work around it.
Exactly. We're trying to raise organic matter levels in the top couple of centimetres. You're allowing the tilth to be created to go around the seed, which means you get a better result with your pre-am chemistry.
So really, you're sort of ultimately you're cultivating for the agronomy, not for the drill.
Exactly
that. And have you been able to save quite a lot of like fuel and the sort of
fuel,
economics?
glyphosate, and we have it won't work now when it's wet and soft as it is. But if you've got that dry field surface and you've got weeds, these discs, because of how they operate this sweep, you will just shear weeds off.
Take the lot off.
Take it out.
That's cool.
And then so last summer that saved us quite a bit of money in chemistry. Won't do this year, but every year's different. Diesel savings, quite a lot. I mean, if you're pulling this at full chat, you're using as much as what you're doing with a power harrow, but you're doing 4 times as much work.
4 times. So there's a huge saving there.
Well, if you're power harrowing at 4K and you're pulling this at 16.5,
says it all. And what do you think is the best size tractor to have on it? I mean, we've got a bit of a smaller one, a bit of a classic.
We normally pull it on the back of a 300 horsepower tractor, so
Right.
either a Fendt or a John Deere. This one's on it at the moment because the other two are sat on drills.
Yeah.
But you know, she'll lollop along at 11, 12k. She's quite happy.
And it sounds good, right?
It sounds mega.
James, thanks ever so much for your time. It's been great. I've learnt a lot here, and yeah, great to see you, man. See you
Take care,
soon.
mate.
Cheers.
See you soon.
See you soon. Cheers.